Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. I like to say, just to let you all know, I'm just getting over a cold right now, so my voice is a little rough. But anyways, and just to let you know about the types of videos I like to create are art motivation, design motivation, and tips. So if you need some inspiration to create more art or motivation, this is the place to be. Ali J Designs. So in this video, I actually went to Dollarama and I picked up some wooden crafts, and it was a huge pack of like 50 pieces of heart-shaped wooden crafts. And this type of heart was part of it, part of the set. And I just loved the sort of organic nature of this heart. And I just wanted to paint it these two different colors. I'm using jelly gouache paint, and the paintbrush was also included in the set I got off of, the place. You know, that big place that we always order stuff and get delivered to our front door. So yeah, this paintbrush, I love using this paintbrush. In my other videos, I'm always using this paintbrush. It's become my favorite one, my go-to. It's a mini heart, and I find this is the perfect size brush to use. Well, one thing I love is if I have like a concept, I can just get a mini version, like going to the dollar store, Dollar Tree, or Dollarama, and pick up a mini version of what I want to do and sort of practice that concept, you know, kind of like a 3D sketchbook in a way. So, yeah, but a little bit about me too. I am an artist, a Canadian born artist, and I was a graphic designer as well. And now I'm moving into more of the art world. And I just love painting and sharing my wisdom about graphic design, my graphic design past. And also, one thing though, art is basically the foundation of graphic design. So, learning how to paint, how to draw, and understanding the principles and elements of art, they're the foundation for all things graphic design. And I love practicing those elements and principles, even in painting, because the more tools you have in your art toolbox, the better art pieces can be. And the same in graphic design. And that's how I find that they're related. So, and I find too, just to sort of get creative, I always have to sort of go to my sketchbook, pick up a pencil, and just draw. Or in this case, run to the dollar store and pick up like a little craft and practice a concept. And for this wooden craft, I'm practicing sort of how to paint ribbon and how to make sort of a romantic style decoration. It's already kind of romantic, with a heart, but adding those extra touches, those extra details, and practicing that, because that's something I'm really, I'm all about. You got to practice at a skill to get better. And for me lately, I've been practicing my painting skills, because that's something I never explored long enough. And this is something that is important for me to explore more, painting and painting details and just getting better. Because yeah, I love painting. I am an artist, and this is something, it's not just talent alone that makes you a good artist. I think you have to practice at it, practice at anything to get better at something. And it takes time. And I just love it. I truly love love painting and being creative. And the best part too is I get to create my own decorations. So why not put in a bit more effort and just paint away and using design knowledge, art knowledge about the different principles and elements. I like the whole idea of opposites, and using scale and contrast, positive and negative. This is sort of the concept I was trying to go express here, the idea of positive and negative. And just, making it the style that I like, because sometimes I don't always find things in the store that reflect my personal style. So that's why I really love how there's more, things you can just paint yourself and make it your own style. And for me, I like sort of a bit of abstract and bold colors. That's a bit about my style. And it's always fun, you make your space your own, your decorations your own. You can customize it. And that's the beauty of when you can create your own things. Make it your own. Make it what makes you happy. And making my own decorations makes me very happy. And practicing my art skills, painting skills. So it's a win-win here. Making my own crafts, making my own decorations. But yeah, it's these jelly gouaches I find so versatile. I was surprised at how well it adhered to the wood, because one thing I noticed with even Dollarama, the woodcraft, it is smooth, but it's not shiny. It's still rough enough for paint to stick onto it. So it's very useful, and you can just get started the same day. You don't have to prep anything. It's ready to go. And yeah, it's a pack of 50 I got. And yeah, I found each season they had different shapes. Even for Christmas, they had like, little Christmas trees as well. But the heart-shaped ones, I really love how they had different styles of hearts. I didn't expect that. So this was a nice surprise, having this sort of more organic style of heart shape within the package. But yeah, I love how it was coming together. And here I found my metallic paint, and I'm trying to add that on top of the red. And I found, you needed more light on it and extra layers, because again, metallic paint is a bit different. I found it was a bit thin, so I had to add extra layers so that it would show up, so you can sort of see the reflection, kind of see there. And it was a lighter color, which wasn't bad. I found that worked. And just adding that metallic. I found, because I'm trying to add that like look of velvet or that sort of shiny ribbon effect I was trying to go for with this metallic paint. I think it was Aztec. It came in like a very small tube, but there were many colors, so I didn't mind that. And a little goes a long way, so. And I like using it for just details to highlight. Just do some extra highlights to add more depth. And again, that whole look of ribbon. And I liked how it turned out. I really, I always like to add a little bit of shine to my art pieces. I love sparkle and glitter, but mostly shine, that reflects light, because being in winter, I love the bright light during the day. And adding that extra feature makes me happy, because I like to paint what makes me happy. And then I'm just adding it more to the background there as well, just to add more shine and more, add more layers, more interest, I find. And I'm still debating if I should add varnish on top of everything. I think I may, just to make it last longer. Varnish is a good protector. Um, but I have to make sure it's a type of varnish that works with wood. That's always important. Always read what type of material it can stick to when it comes to varnish. But yeah, I love how these colors were coming together. The metallic on top of the red. And yeah, I just love how it's coming together. I always try to, whenever I'm creating something, I always make sure I have a good idea, but I try not to limit myself either for it to be so like exactly what I want it to be. I have a good, strong concept. Like I knew I wanted to do something that showed like opposites and sort of that negative and positive. I know I wanted that concept. And I just kind of went with the flow with like the shape of the piece. And I just kind of went for it. And I really love how it turned out because I'm not always a big fan of pink and red together, but I think this really worked out well. This shade of pink because it was so pale, it didn't look too much like a pink. If you understand what I mean. Anyways, I really just love how it all came together, especially with the metallic on top. Because the metallic kind of was like almost like a bright red. It had like pink tones in it. So that kind of made things work out. Please excuse my sniffling nose. I'm still getting over my cold right now. But back to the painting here. I find it so important to just, when you're trying to get into that creative mode, to sort of step away from the computer a little bit and get back down to the basics, which is either with a paintbrush or a pencil, and just start practicing the principle and elements of design and art. And sort of, I find that really helps. Um, it helps get into that creative flow, and it's sort of like a mini exercise, like a warm up for the creative side of your mind. Kind of like when you want to get in shape and you want to start to work out again. You don't just go, 100% right away. You always do a warm up and then you get into your full workout. And that's what I find with graphic design and anything creative. I always find before I do like a big piece, I like to do these mini warm up pieces, practicing the elements and principles of art. And I find that helps so much. It makes such a big difference in the overall meaning of my piece. And right here, as you can see, I'm adding another layer. This is a sort of silver, probably the same pack of metallic paint I have here. I'm just adding like a nice outline to sort of finish it up, and I thought it worked really well. It's the silver, and I just love how it pulls everything together. And, I'm not always a big fan of putting outlines, but I found it just needed it. Sometimes when you make things, it depends. And just getting that silver in there for more shine. But yeah, I just find I love just getting back down to basics to get my creative mind flowing and all those ideas flowing. And it's always good to practice, practice your skill and you get better at it. I remember when I first started my first graphic design job. This is something I wish I knew too. I wish I had prepped more templates, because in the real world, you can't just take your time. There's lots of fast deadlines, even at the end of the day. And to lessen the stress, templates are so useful. Create your own templates. You can spend like some time on the weekend. And to get into that sort of creative mode, start by drawing a bit. And then you end up doing what you need to do with the templates, making a bunch of them. And that was actually advice too from my professors from college. And they even shared their old clip arts with us to help us learn the different programs like Illustrator. They gave us, I remember one professor gave her old clip art that she used when she had her own business. And she said, you have to have your own custom library of templates. And she had like a huge library that she could pull from. And then you adjust them towards your client's needs. Like, how easy is that? And she said, too, she just spent some time, on the weekends to create this mini library. And that's another sort of tool to add to your toolbox, you know, templates, your own templates. You can't just pull them from other programs. There's all kinds of copyright issues. So, one thing, it's always good to create your own. Oh, excuse me here. I have a stuffed up nose. So, yeah, that's why, again, to be able to do those extra creative things, it's always so important to do your stretches first. Hence the mini sort of pieces here. And I just found it so relaxing, just sitting down and sometimes standing up and painting and just letting my mind relax and flow. I really enjoyed, see there, that's the type of paintbrush I'm using there. With the silver paint, sometimes it's just good to just relax and just paint. And it's such a good stress relief. Just paint, de-stress, and relax and enjoy the sunshine. Even on a winter day, I love the sunshine. It's so great. But yeah, it's always good to be prepared, because one thing that's always going to be there at work are tight deadlines, because graphic design, you know, it's high expectations. And in order to do things accurately too, I remember too when I worked in graphic design full time, there's so many details with the dates, locations, addresses. So once you have your template together quickly, like having that base, it really helps to have your focus on the important details, like not mixing up dates and times. And then you can, always print out your work and check it over to make sure everything's accurate and get it signed off. Always get people to sign things off, because being in corporate, people will try anything. I'm telling you. Oh, the stories I have to share. And it's always the ones, the ones that, yeah, I won't go there. We're going to keep things positive. But it's always good to get things signed off. That's all I got to say. But yeah, it's just come prepared, and it just makes your life so much easier. But yeah, I just love painting, and in creating my own Valentine's Day decor. I really love how it turned out. It's so simple, and I find it looks so chic as well. And I'm just trying to make sure too that I create enough that they kind of I have to stick to the same colors. See, that's one thing that's important. But that's this one so far. Anyways, bye now.